Hey guys, it's GT Cam here once again. A little late today. This was supposed to be a Wisdom Wednesday thing. Yeah, strike vote stuff today. Union, yeah. Anyway, it's been a day. Basically what I was going to say to you guys today is you want to be a little strategic when you're starting out. For those of you that are on a budget, restarting, just getting started out when you're young. Again, don't jump right into, hey, I'm going to buy all these tools off the tool truck. There's options that you can avail yourself of before you go doing that. Initially, what you're going to need, it depends a little bit on what you're working on. If you're working on primarily Toyotas and Nissans, you're going to be looking at, your 8, 10, 12, 14, 17, 19, I think like 21 or 22, maybe both. Obviously, you won't need SAE in that case. Unless you're working specifically on some older domestic stuff, you probably won't need SAE. I'm not even going to talk about the British freaking fasteners. So be mindful of what you're going to be working on. Starting out, you may be able to get away with just using some freaking twin sockets. Those are certainly cheap enough to get you going and get you started. Are they ideal? Probably not. But starting out, you're not going to be working on stuff typically where it's going to matter as much. When you get further down, dealing with higher end stuff, or you're trusted with more advanced tasks, then obviously you're going to want the nicer stuff. In the drawer here, I've got some freaking snap-on sockets here. I've also got a mix of Icon and Tecton and everything else in here. You want a high traction wrench without paying Mac prices? There's the USAG 285X. That's one of those with the really grippy freaking jaw. It's a lot less than the Mac. I think the Mac is still a nicer wrench, but to get you going, that'll do it. Or maybe you just need a set of wrenches to get you going. This set of V-Series Craftsmans I've got right here, these are nice wrenches. I wish my old freaking raised panel Craftsmans of old were this good. You're going to be a little limited on this end, perhaps, as far as getting on stuff, because you won't be able to just use this side. You'll only be able to use that side. But be that as it may, those would get you started. And those come in a really nice set, and they're anywhere between $40 and $80, depending on what the sale is at the time. You can find those on Amazon. In fact, what I'm going to do, when I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to give away a set of those. I've got a spare set. But be mindful of what you're going to grab starting out. Most of what you're going to need to do is probably going to involve 3/8. Unless you're running heavy diesel or something like that, you're way outside the realm of anything I've ever had to deal with. So that's a whole other school of thought. There's a whole bunch of bigger tools, heavier tools, probably more cuss words. But again, be mindful. And starting out too, if you just want to ratchet, let's grab the 3/8 here. We can go ahead and grab, if you want a quick release ratchet, Gearwrench's 90 tooth quick release is a nice enough ratchet to get you going. If you can find the tones, I wouldn't recommend using these when you got to put a lot of leverage on something, because they're a smaller head, as you can see there. But again, a nice ratchet. But I would say you could grab the Huskies, but for as much as you'll spend on a Husky, you can probably find the Gearwrench quick release. There we go. This one right here, 90 tooth compact head Gearwrench. One of the stronger ratchets out there, and has this amazingly small head. You see, this is one of our quarter drive with a 3/8 conversion snap-ons. You can see that the head size there, that Gearwrench is not much bigger. Hopefully I'm getting the right angle on the camera. I'm kind of having to improvise today because I'm late. But that's a heck of a ratchet right there, especially starting out. It's, $30-35 for that ratchet. You pair that with some Quinn sockets to get you rolling. And I'd probably mostly grab 6-point sockets. If you end up needing some 12 points later, go grab a set of inexpensive ones. That gets you rolling. Find yourself a used box or a freaking box from Harbor Freight or whatever to get you going. The box isn't going to be what makes you money. This thing I've had for years, and I've hit a point now where I've outgrown it. I just haven't decided what I'm going to replace it with yet. I'm thinking probably it's going to end up being one of the Icon 73s, but it'll be a while. I got to clear out the shop. We got a bunch of construction going on, and I'll get into that in a video here soon. Again, be strategic. Pick where you're going to spend your money in the beginning. As you get further along or doing tasks that, after you get a feel for more of what you need for what you're doing, then, you know, if you have a few bucks here and there, you can kind of spend it on something. Or maybe you can pick up a side gig here and there to give you a little more cash in your pocket to buy the nicer tools. It's just, you know, it's probably part of the fun of the whole thing is building up as you go. I didn't really acquire the only Snap-on item I had until fairly recently, and I don't wrench professionally. I've done some stuff in the past. I've done marine electrical. I've worked on boat engines, Jeeps, Toyotas, Nissans, you name it, mostly as a hobby. But part of the fun is, as you get further along, learning the appreciation for some of that nicer stuff. It sucks if you decide you're going to go spend $150 on a ratchet and then you get it and you're like, you know what? I really don't like this ratchet. Better to start out with something, you know, that's like 35 bucks or whatever. Or maybe you see a coworker's got something. You're like, hey, you mind if I try that? Yeah, sure. You decide you don't like it. You decide you really want one. Cool. But that gives you the chance to kind of buy and build as you go. And then you don't have to spend a whole ton of money to get you going. And then if you decide you don't like the industry, oh crap, here you go. So with that out of the way, that's the Wisdom Wednesday for you. Last little tidbit to close out. If that Tesla driver doesn't want to let you in, cool. His safety features probably will. Anyway, on that note, have a great day, guys.